into the night. Then through the darkness, your loving kindness tore through the shadows.
I'm happy to call upon Mr. Augustine Machi from Stevens Machi Solicitors, who's going to be talking to us for the next few minutes over immigration matters. A round of applause.
Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. Hello. Hello. Yeah. Said I'm happy to be here. Hello? Yes. Okay. I said I'm going to be talking about the ways anybody who is living in the UK illegally can regularize their immigration status. There are various ways, but the most obvious ones are based on having a family here. If you are in the UK and you have a family member here, you have a child or a partner, or you are married, you can make an application on that basis. With the marriage application, if you are living here legally and you marry somebody who is also living here legally, it means that when you make an application to the Home Office, you have to prove that both of you are earning a minimum income of £29,000 a year. However, if you are not living here legally, you don't need to prove that income. All you need to prove is that you and your partner can maintain yourselves without claiming benefits. If your partner is also claiming benefit and you want to make an application on that basis, you don't need to meet the income requirement of £29,000 a year. If you are here legally, you also need to pass English language. But if you are here illegally, you don't need to pass English language. You can make an application straight away. And if you don't have the money to pay the Home Office application fees and the immigration health social insurance, which is the NHS fee, you can apply to the Home Office for what they call a fee waiver, which means if it's approved, you can do the application without paying any money to the Home Office. And for you to apply for a fee waiver, you need to show that you have no way to live or you can't afford a place. But if you have somewhere to live, you have to show that paying the fee will mean that you will be able to afford your normal living expenses. Or that paying the fee will impact on your child's well-being in the UK. If you can show that, then you don't need to pay Home Office fee. You can make application to the Home Office free, and you should be able to get a visa to live here. If you want to, if you have a child here, and the child is born in the UK, and you don't have a visa, and the child's other parent doesn't have a visa, once the child turns 7 years in the UK, the child can apply for settlement, and you and the child's other parent can also apply, and the child becomes the sponsor, and you should be able to get limited leave to remain. The child will get settlement, and after 3 years, the child can apply for British passport. If the child wasn't born here, assuming the child came here as a minor, and once the child lives here for 7 years, the child can apply. You and the child's other parent, the whole family can apply for a visa to live here. And like I said before, if you don't have money to pay the Home Office, a typical 2.5-year visa application to the Home Office now will cost roughly just below £4,000 for each person. And if you don't have the money, you can apply to the Home Office for fee waiver. And if it's approved, all members of the family can make the application without paying a penny to the Home Office. And there's also the issue of having a partner. There's a change in the rule in making a partner application as a partner here now. Normally the rule is that you and your partner will have to live together for 2 years before you can make an application. Live together in one household. But now there is a different part. If you don't live together and you have a reason for not living together, after 2 years of being partners, you can make an application for leave to remain, and you should be granted visa to live here. One area I'm gonna move to is what I call private life. Application based on private life. Private life is assuming you came to the UK as an adult, you came as a visitor, you came without a visa, and you've lived here for a number of years, you can make an application. Even though you don't have a family here, you can make an application of what is called private life. And the rule is that you should be here for 20 years before making an application. And there's nothing stopping you from making the application earlier, as long as you can show to the Home Office that your home is here now in the UK. You can go back to the country where you originally came from, and you have been there for many years. The Home Office will look at it, and if you qualify, they will give you a visa to live here. Unlike the other applications, you don't have to pay a penny if you apply to the Home Office if you don't have the money to pay for the application. And there are other applications you can also do based on other parts of human rights application. Like if you've got a medical problem and you are receiving treatment here, you can make an application to the Home Office to allow you to continue the treatment. But the test is very high. And if you can get good medical reports to show that you did that treatment, and if you leave the country, that your life will be shortened if you don't get treatment, you can apply to the Home Office. In such application, you don't have to pay a penny to the Home Office. There's also application based on asylum. Asylum is for those who are fleeing authorities from their countries of origin. If you are afraid of the government, and maybe because you are being persecuted in your country of origin because of your race, because of your religion, your nationality, or you're a member of a particular social group, you can apply for asylum. And if you qualify, you'll be granted asylum. If you don't qualify for asylum, the Home Office will consider you for what they call humanitarian protection. That is mainly for people who are fleeing wars and famines and other natural disasters. For applications based on children here, you have to show that you have parental responsibility with your child. Even if the child is not living with you, the child is living with other parents, as long as you can prove that you see the child, you have contact with the child, you should be able to make an application. If the child has got a visa, even if you're not living with the child, but you see the child regularly, you play some role in the child's upbringing, you can also make an application. So the main issue here is that yes, applications to the Home Office these days are very expensive. You're talking about 3,000, 4,000 for some of them for each person. If you don't have the money, you can apply to the Home Office for an exemption for paying the fees. And it will not affect the merit of the application you are doing. The fact that you are allowed to make the application free of charge will not affect any application made to the Home Office. And if you got a visa, there are two ways. If you are living here legally, and you say you're married or you have a child, they'll give you a visa on what they call 5-year route to settlement, which means after 5 years, you can apply for settlement. If you are living here illegally and you've got a visa based on your child, you are on a 10-year route to settlement, which means you have to be applying every 2.5 years, and after 10 years, you get settlement. And once you get settlement, if you are married to a British citizen, you can apply for British citizenship straight away. you don't have to wait for a year. If you're not married to a British citizen, you have to wait for 1 year before you can apply to become a British citizen. And in some cases, there are what they call legal aid funding, which means if you qualify for legal aid, a solicitor can help you to do the application and get paid by the legal aid agency. If you don't qualify, you have to pay privately, or you have to apply for fee waiver or exceptional funding. And if you are, and the application is refused because it's a human rights application or asylum, you have the right of appeal in the UK. You can appeal to the tribunal, and the tribunal is independent of the Home Office and will consider your application based on the law, on the date of the application. And the other thing I want to raise is, usually when we go to the immigration detention centers these days, we see a lot of African, Caribbean young men. The detention centers are full of them. What happened is that they get into trouble with the authorities here and committed a little offense. They go to prison, and the Home Office will be at their back, went to report them in the UK. And when you look at the children, they've been here all their lives. Some of them came here at the age of 3, 4, 5, 6, when under 10 years old. But their carers or parents did not bother to regularize their status. So which means they're illegal in the country. The only time they realized they're illegal is when the Home Office came to see them in detention centers and said, we're going to report you back to the country. Maybe they left when they were 2 years old or 3 years old. It's a common problem we're having, so that's why it's good if you have a young person living with you, try to ensure that their immigration status is regularized. Because once they start having problems with authorities, the next thing the Home Office will do is to kick them out of the country. And it's difficult to stop the deportation if they don't have any other connection with the UK. And I think that's basically what I have to say now. But if you have any question, by all means you can ask me. Thank you.
That's why we need to understand the importance of good parenting. Always create time to be in the lives of your children. I mean, God help us. Let's call on Mama Jumbo. Is it? Sorry. Jumbo. Yeah, please. Mommy Lucy Jumbo.
Lucy and Jumbo, and I'm from Croydon. I actually run a charity organization as well in Croydon it's called ADA since 2007. Working with a lot of young people, so I can really liaise with what our young guy here is talking about. When we started 2018, those are the sort of issue that we face, up to the extent that we had to do a sort of parenting classes. We were running that, and it was really successful in all the areas. So, but that's not what, congratulations, man. Congratulations, well done. Yeah, as I said, I run a charity in Croydon, and this is it's called ADA, but it stands for the African Youth Development Association. It's to support the development of all young people, including those with special educational needs. ADA welcomes all young people and their families and in all backgrounds, from all backgrounds. So the association became a company registered by guarantee in 2007, and it registered as an international charity in February 2008. Up till now, with board of trustees to, of course, to run the charity. Our vision actually is to empowering a future generation through training, guidelines, and support for all young people, including those with special educational needs and their family, which is very, very important, that we don't just take the young people and educate them or support them in whatever we're doing, but also send a helping hand to their family. We believe in helping the child to help the parents, helping the parents to help the child. So they work hand in hand to have that family where we come from in Africa. The child is the responsibility of the community. When the mother is pregnant, it's her own child, it's her baby. She nurture that baby, she hold, or even her tummy when she's walking or anything. But once that child is born into a community where everybody support that child. If the child is wrong, they can call and scold the child. You are wrong. What you are doing is not good. And I'm going to tell this to your mom and dad. So that is how we grow up. But now it's different. But we try to instill that in the community. I will not be long because of this time constraint. I actually prepared something here to talk about our culture, where we come from. But unfortunately, we haven't got that time. Hopefully next time, Pastor here and Godfrey and Rose, maybe I'll be invited again sometimes that we can have some more time to really talk about that, because that is where our children, they get lost, because when you don't know where you're coming from, you will never know where you are going. That is the situation with most of the children that are really lost when they come to this country. Like when we were doing parenting, a young child, 10 years or so, we tell the mom, you cannot do that to me anymore. If you do that to me, I will call the police, only because the mom said, try to discipline him to come back from school, you do this, do that, not just walk in and go straight to the television, start watching. You have to do your homework and things. But that child now turned and said, if you dare talk to me with that tone, and I'm going to call the police or social worker. It makes the mother, sometimes when they don't have their papers, they don't have their, they haven't regulated their papers in this country. In the 80s, 90s, it was a little bit difficult than now. They start panicking. So they have to, okay, if you want to go with whatever people are telling you out there you go. And that's how the child will go into the wrong hands. It was very, very easy like that. But God is in control. We are all on it today and now and further on. So next time we're going to talk more in depth about culture. But to be honest, just these few moments that I've been giving, I just want to say everybody. I think most people have received this is the Mayor of London program, which gives the opportunity for every and not just the young people, for adults up to in their 60s, or if they want to learn anything like the digital computing skills now. When people like from my age, we are new into it. I always say that my grandchildren are teaching me now how to do this, but in the past who were teaching the grandchildren, because it's really it's something that is new. Even me, I said, my God, this AI thing, now has come. I grew up in the generation of typewriters. That's why I grew up with the typewriter, word processing and things. But now it's running ahead. So this is the opportunity that once you register with this program, which is from the Mayor of London, you don't have to pay anything from any school. Yeah, I got the form. If you are interested, you can call and I will send you that form. Fill in and which college you want to attend. The one near you or things like that. So you can be able to, and it's just about 3 weeks, 6 weeks course, and then you'll be able to have an idea of this AI technology, digital technology and things. So that is one of the main reasons. That, in fact, I will sort of stop there because I could tell the constraint time is going and things like that. But next time I will do more on, if I go into culture is quite deep and it's quite, and it will take a lot of time. I just felt that we started now and not finishing it. It's just like you start something and, it's not, you can't really see the impact, because we all have a culture, irrespective of wherever you come from. We have a culture, and that culture we have to respect. Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
The mountain I could not climb. In desperation, I turned to heaven and spoke your